Hey YouTube, I've got a really cool video for you today. I'm going to be going over my entire Nintendo 64 collection. I've got quite a few games to show you. And yeah, so, sit back and enjoy the show as usual. Alright, so although the Nintendo 64 really isn't my niche, like it's not my favorite console, I do have quite a few games. I have less N64 games than I have NES games and Super Nintendo games. As you can tell up there, I've got a ton of those. But I still have a fair amount. This was around when I was young, because the main console when I was growing up was the GameCube. But when I was still pretty young, it was the 64. So I played it at my friend's house a lot. But overall, I love the games on it. They're tons of fun, but it really isn't my favorite console. I also find it's not the most fun to collect because I find, it's fun to collect for a console when they're really expensive games, and like the Nintendo, crazy expensive games. I'll never see them for the Super Nintendo. Anyways, let's get into this. There's no specific order, but the cartridges are going to be in alphabetical order, and then I just have boxes, and there's no order there. So first up, we've got GoldenEye 64, GoldenEye 007. It's a really fun game. It's a shooter, and I don't know, not much to say. It's very well known. Everybody likes this game. Then you got The World Is Not Enough, 007, also a lot of fun. Here's a game from a series that I really enjoy. They brought it to the Xbox and Game Boy Advance. It's Banjo-Tooie. Banjo, it's like a bear and tons of fun. It's, great N64 game. It's a classic. You really should try to pick that up, and Banjo-Kazooie if you get a chance. Here's my most valuable N64 game. It's Bomberman 64, The Second Attack. This game goes for a good $60 or $70 online, so it's pretty rare. It's a pretty fun, adventure kind of role-playing game, and you should definitely pick this one up if you get a chance, even if it's just to resell. Then there's, of course, Destruction Derby 64. I don't think I've ever actually played this, but I assume that it's a lot of fun, Destruction Derby. And, of course, Doom 64, after the Super Nintendo. Tons of fun. Really check this one out if you get a chance. I'm not going to say that much about each N64 game because other than a few, I didn't really play that much into them. I'm more just going over, my whole collection. Here you got full F1 pole position. I have played this game a fair amount. It is a lot of fun. Formula 1 racing. It's by Ubisoft, pretty good company. Yeah, it's a great game. Then you've got Forsaken 64. Here's a game that I really like a lot. It's Kirby, the Crystal Shards. This is a really fun game. It's Kirby finally. They don't have that many Kirby adventure games when it comes to the, compared to like Mario and stuff when it comes to the consoles, especially now. But I think they're starting to bring back, they have the Wii version. Anyways, this is tons of fun. It's an amazing game. It's probably one of my favorite Kirby games out there. Here's another pretty expensive game that I have for the N64. I've never played it. I played it to test it, but that's it. It's called Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. This is, it's a pretty rare game. It's like $35 game. Good. Here's Monster Truck Madness 64. That's, another fun game by Microsoft, Most games on the N64 really are pretty good quality. We've got Namco Museum 64. I really like this game. It's a great compilation. You've got like Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, Pole Position, Digged Out. Great stuff. Those are the ones that are all listed here. Really, you should check this one out if you're a fan of arcade games. Then you've got a game. Actually, I think I might have the box and manual for this down there. NFL Blitz. Never played it. I normally don't pick up sports games, but I guess, this one I'm picking up because I had the box and manual for it. Then you've got Hey You Pikachu. This is a great game. I played this a lot as a kid. It comes with like a microphone, you know, but special had like a yellow ball on the tip. Tons of fun, you know, you play with Pikachu and stuff. There isn't, you know, a crazy amount to do, but it's good to play when, you know, you're bored and stuff. So here's another really fun game that I picked up not too long ago in one of my last pickups videos. Just check it out. It's called Pilot Wings 64. I love the Pilot Wings series, you know, especially the Super Nintendo one where you have, you know, your jet and your parachuting and all that. So this is extremely fun. It's very similar, just better graphics, of course. So you should definitely check out Pilot Wings 64 if you get the chance. Then we've got the amazing Pokemon Stadium. I was lucky enough to be able to find a copy that didn't have someone's name in it, because I find these quite often, but it always has some kid's name in it. This was a ton of fun. I used to play this at my cousin's house, and I remember he always picked good Pokemon, and I actually at that point I don't think I was a huge Pokemon fan, so I just picked random guys. Anyways, it's a ton of fun, a really good game. I like the sequel too. Yeah. Here's another game that I never played. I just picked it up with another game, just came with it. Called Starshot Space Circus Fever. I really can't say anything about that game other than it has an okay cover. Here's another game that I played at my friend's house pretty often. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Pretty fun game, pretty common too, so you know, if you want to pick it up, not gonna be too hard. And here's one of my favorite games on the system. It is absolutely amazing. You'll definitely know it, there's no way you won't. It's Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. This is an amazing game. You know, great graphics, being introduced to you know, all these characters in the same title really gives it a great, you know, celebration of Nintendo feel. I love this game. Then here are two wrestling games. I don't really play wrestling games, I just pick them up part of a lot. You got WCW versus NWO World Tour. I can't really tell you what that means. Sorry. And WrestleMania 2000 in pretty bad shape. Those just came part of a lot. If you like wrestling games, then you should check them out, sure. I think I used to actually play a wrestling game at my friend's house, and I never enjoyed it. He always took chairs and hit me with them. Anyways, so let's get into my box stuff. A lot of my box games aren't in the best shape, and that's just because once I was doing some garage sailing, and a woman had just a box and it was full of just empty boxes, and she gave them all to me for free. So that's why a lot of them aren't in the best shape. I have two Banjo-Kazooie boxes. One of them is down there, but neither of them are in that great shape, so I just kind of keep it in this one. This one, it's the million seller, but anyways, Banjo-Kazooie, it's a great game. It's the prequel to Banjo-Tooie, which is the game that I just showed earlier. You know, it's a lot of fun, very similar gameplay. This has some of the best video game music I've heard, especially on the 64, which is known for its really wacky and wild tunes. So then you've got Pokemon Puzzle League. This is another game I've been looking for quite a long time. I had the box and the manual, but I didn't have the cartridge. So I finally found the cartridge for, you know, $3. Was happy to pick it up. Great game, a lot of fun. Kind of puzzle in like Tetris style. I haven't played that much into it, but I like Pokemon, so I like that game. Then we got Turok 2. I never played this game actually, just copied it other than to test it. I've played this game only at my friend's house. We always got really into the Turok games. They are a lot of fun, so I definitely recommend you check this series out. I don't know if it's Turok 2 that I played with him, but yeah, it's the Great Card Edition. Check it out if you get a chance. It's a lot of fun. Of course, I have to have this. You know, my box is in pretty beat up shape, but I love it. Super Mario 64. This is a classic. This is an amazing game. You know, the first time I actually played through this game was on my DS. My sister bought me the game around my birthday when the DS had come out, and you know, it's a great game. Tons of fun. If you haven't played it, you definitely should. It has some really amazing tracks in there. Yeah, here's another game with some amazing soundtracks, of course. It's Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, with the box and everything. Box in pretty nice shape, other than a few random creases. It still holds itself perfectly though. I find that's the one thing with the N64 boxes, a lot of times they cave in. Anyways, this is arguably one of the best games of all time. I won't say it's the best game of all time because it's not my personal favorite, but I understand why a lot of people say it is. You know, there's just so many great things about it. If you haven't played this game, you definitely should. It's Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you know, you really should play it. If you have a 3DS, you can play it on there. I played through that one too. Tons of fun. Here is probably the 64 game that I've logged the most time on. It's pretty easy to find, and it's extremely cheap, which is great. You know, I got this complete inbox copy for I think it was $10 or $12. I'm not sure. It's Pokemon Snap. I've done a review on this. You should definitely check it out. It's not that in depth, but it really gives you an idea of what the game is about. Basically, go around taking pictures of Pokemon. Sounds pretty simple, but believe me, this is tons of fun. It's really different, and really wish they would remake the game with all the new Pokemon. Here's the sequel. Pretty heavy box. It's a sequel to one of the games I showed you before. Boxes in great shape, perfect, really. This cost me $10. Pokemon Stadium 2. Honestly, I don't find that they stepped up the game too much from the original. You know, there are more mini games and that kind of stuff, and of course, like 100 or so new Pokemon. So this was a ton of fun. So I definitely think you should check this one out too. Probably over the first one, just because it, you know, has more Pokemon. And last but definitely not least, Mario Kart 64. Now honestly, this isn't my favorite Mario Kart, it's probably my second favorite. I really do like Mario Kart 7. That's probably my favorite Mario Kart. The one that just came out for the 3DS. You should definitely check that out. I did an unboxing and review of that too. But yeah, regardless, this is a great game. My box is a bit whitened on the front. Oh, other than that, it's in fairly good shape. Complete. That is a ton of fun. You know, those are all great games, and you know, you really should try to check out. The N64 has really fun library for, you know, kids. There's just simple gaming, and you know, there's some more you know, intricate stuff too. But yeah, so that's my N64 collection. I've got my, you know, Nintendo 64 downstairs. I got a black one with 2 great controllers. Nothing too special. I've seen a ton of special edition ones, but they're always pretty expensive. So yeah, that really is it. If you guys want to see my other collection, you know, I have a pretty extensive Nintendo and Super Nintendo collection. It's not as extensive as some, but a fair amount of games. Then you should definitely just let me know which one you want to see. I'll get to it eventually. I'm thinking, you know, of doing some cool stuff soon, and yeah, anyways. So let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I hope you liked the video. See you guys soon.